All right, we have returned, and we have a few interesting topics to discuss from this week. We have Michael Cohen's testimony before the House. We have Donald Trump walking away from the table when it comes to North Korea, and a few more little key items, including a hit list? Yeah, it's a weird one. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as The Hatman.
Welcome to Micah and The Hatman on Politics Live. I just realized I had the wrong setup. Hold on a second. Take two. So, interesting week in politics this week, though not a lot went on. We have Cohen's testimony before Congress. We have Donald Trump walking away from the table on North Korea, and oddly enough, a hit list for Democrats. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as The Hatman.
Welcome to Micah and The Hatman on Politics Live. Alright, I do apologize for that, folks. YouTube has decided to suck it up, quite frankly. And, yeah, it has been a struggle with this frickin' website for the last few weeks, to say the least. Not to mention, I am still having problems with my back. If it's still persisting on Monday, I'm going to just go to the doctor and have it looked at and then get an x-ray done. And hopefully, I don't have a slip disc or something.
Here's hoping. In the meantime, though, I have a fairly new setup. I mean, for those of you who have not watched The Overflow, which should be none of you because you should all be watching The Overflow, I got a new camera. It's supposed to look better, although the lighting is kind of crappy. And this shadow that you see on me is because of the new setup, which I'm going to try and bring in a little bit. Yeah, I actually have a boom arm and a shock mount for the mic now. So hopefully I didn't just fuck everything up. Yes, I kind of did. Oh, well. Yeah, hopefully that won't be bad. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me better now. Oh, yeah, I totally did fuck this up.
I'm going to say, hopefully it doesn't fall into your lap there.
Nah, it won't. Go ahead and tell the people about the things while I fix this up.
Well, considering Hatman just screwed up, it's time to debut the new button. Everyone shame to Hatman!
Shame! 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 Shame!
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Oh my god, I love that thing so much.
Yes.
It's supposed to be an insult for me, but I love it. I love it. I cannot help but love it. And I'm very, very tempted to record my own Alex Jones. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded. So you might just want to use that one. I don't know.
Oh man. I can't believe I got to use it that quick. That's the kicker. All right, let's get into it. So
let's actually get to things.
Yeah, so Donald Trump, he has not had the best of weeks, though not all entirely his fault, I guess. In this particular one, he is walking away from the negotiating table when it comes to North Korea. Now, basically what happened was Kim came to the table saying he has no intention to denuclearize, and he wanted the sanctions on North Korea lifted.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go through this again. He has no plans to denuclearize and wants sanctions lifted.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
I mean, the entire
How fucking stupid do you have to be to assume that was going to work?
I mean, the whole point of the deal was you denuclearize, you commit to not having nuclear weapons at all, then we can talk about sanctions being lifted.
Yep.
But instead, it's the opposite of that, which, no, that's fucking wrong. So, yeah, you do have to walk away from the negotiating table over things like that. But at the same time, you don't antagonize, the person that you're negotiating with. Some people have been saying, like, him basically downplaying the death of Otto Warmbier and saying, like, oh, I have to take Kim Jong-un at his word that he didn't know about that. And everyone's saying, oh my God, that's inexcusable. You don't call somebody that you just been negotiating with and just walked away from the table with a bullshitter, like less than an hour after walking out on them.
Yeah.
That's a surefire way to make sure that you will not get back to that negotiating table. And considering how long it's taken just to get this far, ain't no way in hell that Trump wants to screw that up.
I think a lot of people
a
lot of people on the left don't understand that how badly this could go. I think that part of that is evidenced by Jim, look at me, I'm Jim Acosta, shouting at the North Korean leader, basically trying to sabotage the original summit, over his own ego, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I thought that what Trump had said was kind of spineless. I am of the opinion, though, that it would have been a much better idea to simply not take questions after that sort of situation had just unfolded that way. Should have just came home. Because, in my opinion, and I say this as somebody who's been in business and has had negotiations, when you walk away from the table, you shouldn't talk to anybody. You should give the impression that it didn't go well. You should give the impression that you are pissed. You should give the impression that something needs to change. And if you sit around with the press, which he didn't really have to do, and talk about this when he could have came home and done it, would have been a smarter move.
Mm-hmm. Well, you knew the press was going to go after him anyway. And he intentionally kept away from the White House press corps because all they wanted to ask about was Cohen's testimony.
Yep.
Which we'll get to in a little bit. So, like, even then, there was something overshadowing this conference. It barely any major news about this until the negotiations ended abruptly. Trump walked away from the table, and then the thing about Otto Warmbier. That's basically been the only coverage that we've seen regarding this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a second summit with North Korea alone is newsworthy, especially after the first one. It was fucking unheard of, but
yeah.
Now it's just okay. I guess that's secondary news for the day.
Well, the kicker for me in all of this is I don't think a lot of people really understand. Everybody wants to focus on the domestic bits because that's the juicy gossip. But the fact is that there are parts of the world that are a fucking powder keg. North Korea is one of them. And I think that the difference between Donald Trump and Barack Obama and the way they handle North Korea is that they are not willing to concede with anything when it comes to North Korea. It is, you get your shit together and you stop threatening my country, or you will lose everything, one way or another.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly that simple from a negotiation standpoint. I'm honestly starting to believe that the media just doesn't fucking care anymore.
No, they don't.
Well, it's a combination of having to talk about North Korea for so long to the point where they just assume, okay, well, they're crazy. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. And, of course, wanting to basically hit Trump where it can hurt, wherever it can hurt.
Mm-hmm. I think that Trump would be pretty well served to... Or rather, I should say, what he did was correct, honestly, when it came to walking away from the table.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I would have, I think that anybody in the situation would have done the exact same thing unless you're Barack Obama or Bill Clinton, but, anybody else probably would have done the same thing. Just walk the hell away. Because here are North Korea's options. We destroy what little economy they have with sanctions. They go to war with us and we destroy them. Mm-hmm. Or they can denuclearize. We will lift the sanctions and possibly that company can start to, or that country can start to recover.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they are in the shits. Like, when the majority of your population survives on kimchi and literal grass,
mm-hmm.
something's not fucking working.
Exactly.
And yeah, we don't want to go to war with North Korea because we don't want to kill innocent people.
Yes.
We don't. But at the same time, like, how else are we going to do this except to come to the negotiating table, especially if North Korea is willing to for the first time ever.
Yeah. One thing that I would add, I don't think that there really is anyone in the United States who's not a crazy person that wants war with North Korea. I think that part of the reason that the press is behaving the way they are with this is it has nothing. They're dumb. They're not good people either. But I wouldn't say that these are not Dr. Doom type people.
No,
they just want Trump to lose. That's all they want. They want Trump to lose, and they don't really care about basically we get what we want. Damn the consequences. Is kind of the general attitude, and that is a problem because people who have more sense know what the consequences are at this rate, and. What to do at this point is always going to be a testy one, because if we did go to war with North Korea, not thinking that we ever really will, but let's just throw the hypothetical out there. If we did, it would not take long, because this is not the 1960s.
No.
But at the same time, the Chinese would be very upset because they don't want that sort of thing happening in our backyard. They don't want us that close to them.
No.
So,
and to be honest, I think if we were to go to war with North Korea, I don't think the Chinese would back them either. Because that would...
Yeah, 15 years ago they would have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that would seriously sour relations with us even more than they already have been. Mm-hmm. And that's the last thing that they need, is their number one fucking trade partner, number one business partner, the United States, going into fairly open conflict with them. Yeah, we got something of a symbiotic relationship with China, so... Yes,
it's a weird thing. Mm-hmm. So, can I make a literature point?
Go for it.
So I don't remember if it was in regards to this one or a different one. Where Jack Posobiec quoted 1984 and the whole always at war thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to myself, it's like, you never read the book, or at least you didn't pay enough attention, because in the book it's actually hinted that there never was a war in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, Christ, folks, if you're gonna quote a book, read the whole fucking thing first, please, because the people who have read it are gonna know when you're full of shit. And also, let me say this: I am. I've gotten some critique lately for punching right. I punch everybody. That's what I do.
Everybody who deserves it.
I punch,
including me sometimes.
Yes, I punch things. It is what I do. You know, and you're not going to get hit by me unless you're really fucked up.
This is why we have a shame Hatman button.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to our second topic. Michael Cohen's testimony.
Oh.
This was a shit show.
To say the least. Clown show, circus, whatever you want to call it.
So let's get the juicy stuff out of the way first. The real juicy stuff was the him basically trying to say that Donald Trump's a racist.
Mm-hmm. That was like his first point.
Yeah,
like before him being a liar and a con man and stuff. He's racist.
Yeah, and the quotes that he pulled out sounded like they were made up. They sounded like a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I am to believe that they were rolling down the hood together. Oh, both Donnie and Mikey rolling down the hood, listening to classical music, with Donald Trump with a champagne glass in his hand, even though he's never drank alcohol in his life, saying, "How can these people live like this? They're animals. Fuck off."
Frankly, I don't like the blacks.
Yeah, it's... Oh, God, that's going to be a soundbite.
Oh, God. But, like, it doesn't make any sense. But that's the thing about this. Like, the supposedly big things were either nothing or exaggerated. And even Cohen himself admitted, like, yeah, I can't corroborate, like, any of this at all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the kicker. It's like...
Yeah.
So you're just throwing shit out there, hoping that it sticks to the wall, is basically what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to believe any of it, because this guy's a liar. He's been caught in lies. He's going to jail for lying to the government.
Yeah. A felony. I mean, it's, you know, where are you going to trust him? That's the thing. What can you trust with this? And I've noticed even some people on the right are choosing to trust when he says, like, I was never in, oh hell, the Czech Republic. Mm-hmm. Or wherever it was that was, like, supposedly going to corroborate the Steele dossier.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I've never been here, and all of a sudden, yep, okay, he confirmed it. He said that there's no Russian collusion now because of that. Like, you can't just all of a sudden pick and choose what you're going to believe if you call him a liar from the outset.
Exactly.
Like, I think some things that he said were legit because he kind of got caught off guard, but the big things that he was going to drop, because, you know, he colluded with Adam Schiff and other Democrats, it basically ended up being nothing, especially if there's no corroborating evidence at all. Like, no paper trail for these checks and whatnot. Nothing. Okay, well, it's your word against Trump's, I guess.
Yeah, where do you go from there? Yeah. I mean, to be honest, in a lot of cases, you can't go anywhere.
Yeah. I think though the reason why he got trotted out, I mean, kind of obvious though. He's former finance chair for the RNC, you know, Trump's essentially right-hand guy.
Mm-hmm. His conciliary, basically.
Yeah, he had been with him for a decade. You know, that's not something that you can just write off. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, this front that he was putting up, like, oh, I you know, grew up hair and got all moral after Charlottesville and after I saw the division that he was causing to the country. No, the fuck you didn't. You all of a sudden started singing whatever the hell they wanted you to sing after your place got fucking raided. Yeah. Yeah. You got raided, and now you're fucking singing whatever song they tell you to sing so you can keep your ass out of prison for a few more years.
Well, what made it really crazy, I mean, I believe 0 words out of this man's mouth. He is impossible to trust.
I'm
not
I
had
sure if
somebody
I believe 0.
Well, I had somebody tweet at me over the last video I did on Marvel, saying, you know, why can't you ever have a conversation with John Del Rose again?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, it's because John lies about everything.
Mm.
It's the same thing with this guy. He lies constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And if they cannot tell the truth at all, why would you listen to a word they say? They are crying wolf constantly.
Yeah.
They cry wolf at chihuahuas.
I cry wolf at cats.
Yeah. It is the liar's dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
Is can you get a liar to tell the truth?
Yeah.
Was Flying Sparks good though? No.
I wouldn't know.
I have heard it actually really was not very good.
Well,
They-
I wouldn't know.
It's the from what I was told, and I haven't read it myself, is that John Malin did this amazing cover for him, and Brett did the Brett Smith did the coloring, because Brett's also incredibly talented. The interior art was very lackluster, and the writing is pretty ham-fisted. So,
That's unfortunate.
yep. Oh,
But
it's what happens when you put in half the effort and expect to make double the money.
yeah.
I just feel bad for the people who backed it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway,
back to the politics.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I would say like I don't trust him 100%, but yeah, you make a good point, because he has basically been convicted of being a liar. That is his reputation now forever. We really can't trust him when he says even the stuff about the Steele dossier is bullshit, or I don't believe in that alleged tape that exists about Trump striking Melania. Like, even things like that would serve to exonerate the president. It's like, well, okay, but now you can't trust it. You would essentially have to cherry pick, what's bullshit and what isn't.
Yeah.
And that's a total fucking crapshoot. I mean, like I said, I don't think he was lying about everything, because I think he did get caught off guard for shit, like the whole colluding with congressional Democrats, Senate Democrats. Yeah, but at the same time, like, well, what else was he telling the truth about? What was a lie? You don't.
The question
know.
is what you can corroborate.
Yeah, exactly. And when he can't corroborate the key fucking points, again, it's literally just hearsay.
Exactly.
And nothing you can do.
Exactly. And there were other parts of the whole thing that were a shit show too. Like, one of the Republicans had brought in a member of Trump's staff who was a black woman, and the look she had on her face was like she was gonna leap off there and rip this dude's head off for saying that Trump was a racist. And I tend to get that impression from anybody who is not white who works for the man. But his answer to this is, well, as the son of a Holocaust survivor, I should have never.
Oh, for God's sake!
I should have never done it. I'm like, no. If what your parents went through affected you so much that you would never work for a racist ever, you would have never done it in the first place. Stop it. You're disgracing your parents. You're disgracing everybody else that died during that point in time. You're an asshole. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Because good lord, that almost made me puke.
Hardworld Entertainment says, I will give Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez credit, though, in asking him who could confirm his claims, asked him to name names.
Yeah, there is that. Well, and that's generally the big part of what has to be done here is you need corroborating evidence.
Yeah,
Trust
absolutely.
but verify is the way that it's supposed to be done.
Yeah,
And
it's not listen and believe. That's apparently reserved for women for whatever reason.
I guess so. But, and you know, even in my business for my day job, like that's something that's very important is I have to have evidence. You know, I had an interesting conversation with a Californian. So, tree falls on the car, and this is basically just on the importance of evidence. Whoa! Chaos Sonic donated $5. Let's see what he says here. Why shame Hatman when you can shame Cohen? I like it.
Because we don't have a shame Cohen button, unfortunately.
That is true. But anyway,
thank you.
she asked me. She said, "A tree fell on my car. The tree was property of the state, or of the city. Can I subrogate against the state to get my deductible back?" And I basically, I know it's stupid, but I said to her, I said, well, you could on this particular occasion. You have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is their negligence that caused this accident to happen, as opposed to it just being nature itself.
Did it happen during the shutdown?
That would be
if
fun.
If it happened during the shutdown, you might have a case.
Yeah, but I told her, I'm like, it's gotta, it's like you gotta prove that the state fucked up and that they owe us money.
Yep.
In which case, I'd be more than happy to do it because fuck the government, but especially the Californian government.
Oh yeah, really, jeez. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you could just sue them for negligence for the point of being the government of the state of California.
But that's the point, though, is that you do need evidence. You have to be able to prove that there is some sort of wrongdoing that happened here. If you can't prove it, if you can't have somebody who could back the story up, and you deserve to be considered a liar. Skepticism is a useful tool when it comes to investigation of any time, whether it's in the public sector or the private sector.
Trust but verify.
Exactly. Did I mansplain her? Oddly enough, she did not accuse me of that, but I did have a coworker who I was training who was accused of mansplaining by a customer. And I'm like, what the fuck? Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. So, speaking of the House of Representatives is moving to block Donald Trump's emergency border action.
Can we get behind this?
This is a weird one. And we're only going to talk to you about it for like 5 minutes. But on one hand, I want the wall. I very much want the wall.
I do too.
On the other hand, what he is trying to do is largely largely a safe bet. He's working with the funds that are available to him, but it does set a bad precedent. Because imagine
back to the Obama power of the pen.
Yeah, imagine nonsense. 12 years from now, we have President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh God, nope.
Who creates a national emergency for climate change and destroys all coal industries. And you know that cork you just pulled out of that bottle, hat man? Dozens of them get shoved up cow asses.
I really, really, really do not even want to think of President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I will drink for the purpose of killing the brain cells that contain that thought.
But in all seriousness, though, like, It sets a terrible precedent. And it is a frightening thing. Whoa, Torino de Guzman donated $10. Here's some money to rent from YouTube and review Demolition Man. It's supposed to be, oh, dude.
Ooh.
Torino. I already own Demolition Man. I love that movie. I will definitely review it for you. That will be my pick of the week next week. I fucking love Demolition Man. It is hilarious. It is one of the funniest movies I've ever watched. My favorite part being the fight scene. Lie on the ground, or else.
God, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Oh, it's so good. It's so funny. It's bad, but it's good. That's the appeal. It's a Stallone action movie. But anyway, but needless to say, I'm torn on this because the House is doing what they should be doing. Oddly enough, it's just they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it because it's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If it were Republicans who had the House right now, they wouldn't do it. They would not.
Yeah. Dan Crenshaw had an argument for why he voted the way he voted, and he voted against this measure.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, like, the only reason why it's being enacted is because Congress failed on this point. And I like the dude, but at the same time, you can't override Congress.
Yeah.
Like, the system of checks and balances exists for a reason.
Yeah.
If Congress fucks up in whatever way, the president does not automatically have the right to supersede whatever they're doing.
Exactly.
It doesn't. You are.
He does not make law.
Yeah. You are basically saying that Congress is irrelevant and the executive branch supersedes all.
Yeah.
And that is wrong. That is not what the founders intended at all.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I am personally not a fan of this move, largely even though I want the wall, and at the end of the day, the blame still lies with Republicans who were not willing to do things 2 years ago.
Yep.
We could have passed it immediately.
Yep.
People are buzzing me. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, needless to say, though, it is a troubling thing.
Yeah.
How this whole thing is going. Personally, I'm of the opinion that it will eventually go through. And I'm hoping that once Trump is done with it, he strips the power from the executive branch forever. Because it shouldn't be there.
No.
And our final topic for today. Apparently, Crazy Eyes has a hit list. So we've talked a lot about Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, begrudgingly.
And here's the thing. I'm going to make the same point Ben Shapiro made. The only reason we are talking about her is because she is constantly brought up as the so fresh, so face, as Ben would say, person of the Democrat Party that is going to change it forever. And she is a walking example of why millennials should never have power.
Mm-hmm.
She is also a walking example of what happens when you get all of your news from the Young Turks and Secular Talk.
Of course!
Google it! We are fully aware that Kyle looks like a lesbian softball coach.
That'll never get old.
But she is easily one of the dumbest politicians of all time. She thought she would be signing bills. She thought there were 3 branches of Congress. She is dumb. And apparently now there is going to be a hit list created amongst the Democrats for anyone who votes with the Republicans, as if we weren't divided enough.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, Ocasio-Cortez is apparently putting together a hit list, And Nancy Pelosi, for all intents and purposes, seems to be going along with it. Some people in the chat were talking about the gun control bill that the House passed. Yeah, it's in regards to that. So Republicans basically made a deal to include illegal immigrants in those expanded background checks. So ICE would be notified if an illegal immigrant attempted to buy a gun as part of the NICS check. And some moderate Democrats voted with the Republicans on this. And Ocasio-Cortez is pissed because, of course, you know, abolish ICE, hashtag what the fuck ever. And Nancy Pelosi is basically saying, yeah, we're either a team or we're not. You know, we can't have outliers here. Basically just reinforcing gridlock for the most part. But Ocasio-Cortez has more or less put together a hit list of these moderate Democrats and saying she will add to it and help fund any sort of progressive primary challengers if these moderate, center-left, whatever you want to call them, Democrats start voting with Republicans. So, how much longer does the Democratic Party have?
I don't know, because this is like the gulag list or something. Like, it's scary stuff. Like, what the ever-living hell? And by the way, I put it in the chat, but I'm going to say it again. We're allowed to make jokes here. I am fully aware that not all millennials are like this. Come the fuck on. Relax, guys.
Technically, I'm a millennial.
Both of us are.
Technically, I don't like to describe myself as one because I do feel something of a generational disconnect with millennials.
Same here. And that is why the joke exists.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I will still call myself Gen Y, damn it.
Yeah. I make fun of Gen Xers. And I say they're all stoners. I make fun of the generation beneath us. I call them Tide Pod eaters. People are allowed to joke. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. You're going to be okay. I promise. I mean, Christ, guys. We joke about all this other stuff. But it's like, come on. Relax. It's okay. Part of like what we try to do here is laugh about politics. Because Jesus Christ, this stuff is silly.
Yeah.
Like, seriously? A fucking hit list in the Senate? You're a representative. Do your goddamn job.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Talk about punching left.
I know, right? All right. So, for the political let's go ahead and get to the Q&A.
Oh, we get extra minutes on the Q&A this time.
Well, we only had 4 topics this week. So,
there we go. Which means it's good for you guys. You get 5 extra minutes of question and ask and answering.
So let me go ahead and get to the patrons. Holy Ninja Toe asks, for the political podcast, how bad is Plato's Republic in terms of social structure, not philosophy, compared to every socialist government ever? It's really not that different. That's what's scary about it. Like, he proposes... Plato's Republic is largely game theory, for those who have never read it. And what is proposed is not a republic, but a fucking tyrannical government. Like, it's crazy what he proposes.
Authoritarian.
Yes. So it's really not that different. And also, Holy Ninja Toe had another question that we missed on the overflow. So he asked us, what did we think of the Baptist minister, female minister, who had people melt down purity rings and turn them into a vagina statue? Well, hold on. Don't let me answer this one. Let me just answer it. Number 1, you shall not have any other gods before me. And number 2, thou shalt not make idols. She's literally violating the first 2 of the 10 Commandments.
Oh, Jesus. Oh no, she's Lutheran. She's not bad. Okay, well that's even worse. I was about to say, hold on. First, a female Baptist minister. That only works in some parts.
Yeah.
But
no, Lutheran. But regardless, though,
Lutheran, that's basically fucking unheard of.
She created an idol to herself, for better or worse. She's a heretic.
Hail the golden vagina, apparently.
And you know what we do with heretics here?
Purge.
Yeah.
We have arrived, and it is now that we fulfill our charge. In fealty to the Lord our God, and by the grace of his throne, I declare exterminatus upon whatever scumbag we're declaring exterminatus on today. I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire wherever, and consign 1,000,000 souls, maybe, to oblivion. May imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
Deus vos, Deus vos, Deus vos, Deus vos, Deus vos.
I love that Hardboiled Entertainment was waiting for a fake out. You will forever be paranoid. But Deus Volt, though, seriously.
Yeah, Deus Volt, indeed. All right.
And Talon Silverbane, Talon Silverbane had a question. Thoughts on this interview? I have no time to watch a video from the Thinkery right now. So we'll answer the other question. I'll watch that for the overflow. What is imperialism, and why do the left think it is pure evil? Well, imperialism would be the founding of an empire, but the way that they use it is the idea of using Western influence to influence cultures across the world. And they think it's evil because they think that they're basically cultural relativists. That if a culture exists, it should be respected. No.
Yeah, it basically, if you try to spread influence, the idea of a global superpower is imperialism.
Yeah.
The fucking like G20, for example, would be all imperialist states.
Yeah.
The word has essentially lost what it intentionally meant or initially meant. Yeah, again, it's become a buzzword at this point.
Yeah. And thus it loses its value.
Yeah.
All right. That's all we had from the patrons Discord.
Okay.
What do we got from the email? Because I know you'd mentioned one.
Yep. Well, we got a couple. From our weeb friend Chris, who claims to not be a weeb at all. Jury's still out on that one. If there's one thing we could abolish in the world, what would it be?
People who make vagina statues.
Well, that was already taken care of. So.
That and waifu bait anime. Somebody asked about that on the overflow. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm using the fucking bail-it on that one.
Oh, my God.
Sorry! You kind of set yourselves up for that.
Well, as for me, honestly, I have no fucking idea. I really don't know. I really don't know.
Shame,
I'm sorry.
Micah. I am incapable of being shamed.
He runs this operation. We can't shame him. Career politicians, that's not bad. Communism, yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of things. Obviously, like, poverty, sickness, all that, good shit. And then there's, the more obvious ones like communism. Honestly, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Cern of God 777. Have we heard about Gab's Dissenter plugin? And if so, are we going to make use of it?
Have heard of it. Interesting concept. Probably not going to use it.
I still need to install it. I am going to try to use it. I think it's great. I think it's hilarious, and I love the reactions from the tech journalists who are trying to say it's like an alt-right plugin, or it's taking power away from sites that have closed their comment sections or otherwise banned users.
Which of course took the power away from the people who are reading their fucking website. To hell with them. Seriously.
Yep. Fuck them.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the chat here. Okay. Koopa's Revenge Home asks, gun to our head, superior philosopher, Plato, Aristotle, or Socrates?
Socrates was a dick to everybody. I pick him just because of that. And also, I would
Aristotle.
I would say Socrates also because he compelled people to figure shit out by themselves.
That is true. He was very good at arguing. I prefer Aristotle as an author. Nicomachean Ethics is an amazing book.
There you go.
Okay, Crystal Wing asks, with Brexit hopefully within its final month, how do you think the UK will have to change and fix itself to work with the rest of the world? Well, Donald Trump has already said that once Brexit is finished, you've got a big trade partner in the United States now. Which is good. I mean, you gave us Gordon Ramsay, we're very thankful. Because Gordon Ramsay's kind of awesome. I've actually been watching videos of his to, like, I'm going to start, like, buying pork loin on the bone to carve steaks instead. Like, that's going to be fun. But anyway, all seriousness, though, basically they're going to find themselves able to trade freer. I would imagine the economy will probably get better over there. The thing is that the legal system in Britain is going to need to get its shit together because it honestly is pathetic. But that's not really going to affect like us trading with them. So
I think it will change once they're out of EU jurisdiction for a lot of their shit. And I think, the makeup of Parliament is going to change as well because you've got was it 20 MPs that left Labour?
Yep.
Like all at once, like holy shit. So I think we're going to see a distinct cultural shift for the UK, and it'll be for the positive and about goddamn time.
Hardball Entertainment says, so Jim Acosta whines about getting snubbed by Trump in the North Korea Q&A. Take it away. No. You do not get to demand the button from us.
No, you do not.
Nope. But I'm not surprised. Jim Acosta whines about everything because he's a giant fucking baby.
Remember, find you a partner who looks at you like Jim Acosta looks at himself.
Yeah. Okay. Daniel Garza asks, what about the government in 1984 scares you the most? I'm currently reading the book in my English class and I've been scared shitless by it. Yeah, I had the same reaction. 1984 was a book that... I was a conservative when I read 1984. I was not a small government conservative. I was a small C conservative before I read 1984. I was a big C conservative coming out of it. The entire book is a horror story.
Oh, yeah.
Every element of your life controlled. It is very scary.
Thought crimes, that it got down to the level of just thought.
Yeah.
Was probably the most frightening aspect of it.
Yes. Looks like you've had a little too much to think.
Yeah. It's like that Twilight Zone episode, It's a Good Life.
Yeah.
Don't be thinking any bad thoughts around Anthony. He can read your mind and he'll know and he will wish you into the cornfield. Just scary shit.
Yep.
I like this one. Eclectic 1995 asks, how did the concept of the lived experience come about?
Big thing with intersectionality, the idea that there is a that your lived experiences count. It's your truth.
Yeah. it's the idea that the personal anecdote matters more than statistical averages.
Yes.
That the actual science behind it is irrelevant compared to what you have experienced. You know, what's true for you is true. Not that it's true for you, but it's true across the board. And if people don't accept that, well, they're horrible, nasty bigots, and they deserve to be whatever punishment, gulag, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Throw them in gulag, comrade.
Take them to gulag.
All right.
20 years, no trials.
Matchstick says, thoughts on multiverse theory and what would you do if you could travel through it? Oh God.
Ooh. Multiverse theory?
So
yeah,
you,
I'm
so the Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four run that, by the way, Rick and Morty ripped fucking off of. With the Council of Ricks. It was done prior by Jonathan Hickman with the Council of Reeds. Rick and Morty's a fucking sham of a show. Funny at moments, but that whole part was bullshit.
To be fair,
had been done long before.
Too.
But there would be a Council of Micahs. There would definitely be a Council of Micahs.
A Council of Micahs trying to figure out whether or not to use the fucking exterminatus button or the fucking button.
we would have a cloned army of John Rambos that would make up our Space Marines, which are called the Lone Star Brigade, and yes, they would have cowboy hats.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Does that mean we would get a female Micah? Oh, Jesus.
Michaela?
Would there be a liberal Micah there? Oh, God.
He wouldn't last long. He'd get tossed out. He'd get tossed out the airlock.
It's like all in favor of using the fucking button as a test on the liberal Micah.
It's just I saw across the board, and I'm at the head of the table, and I'd be like, "Don't make me kill myself."
Oh my god. Oh wow. But no, multiverse. No, I definitely believe multiverse theory is a real thing. As far as traveling, I don't know if I'd want to travel.
I would be interested to meet all of myselves, like Mexican Micah, Miguel. Who would probably have a giant fucking mustache and a sombrero all the time.
He would live in space Mexico though.
Yes. With a cactus Gundam. Oh god. Then
you killed me. You've killed me. I'm dead. Oh Jesus.
God, there would be who else would there be? There would be a Hatman Micah. Where our roles are reversed.
Oh god. Oh god. What about dinosaur Micah? Nazi Micah?
There wouldn't be. Well, the Nazi Micah wouldn't last long either. But
nope. He'd be sent to the camps.
There wouldn't be. He'd be sent to the camps with communist Micah, and they, along with liberal Micah, and they'd all die. But the real kicker would be mob boss Micah. Now he's the guy who runs the books.
Hold on. Are we talking like Tony Soprano mob boss Micah or Wilson Fisk mob boss Micah?
Wilson Fisk.
Hardcore hentai fan Micah. I'm guessing that one would also be sent to the camps.
He just goes straight out the airlock. Him and his body pillow. Fuck all that.
Oh god, multiverse theory is unprovable and therefore pseudoscientific. Yet, well, yeah, of course.
Stop ruining our fun.
Stop it. Stop that.
Are we putting the fun in the camps?
Oh god, Brooklyn Micah, Black Micah.
Oddly enough, I worked with a Black Micah.
Please tell me that Black Micah would just be Black Dynamite.
Oh, I definitely have a fro. I'd have a super bushy fro and the super bushy chin hair. It'd be coming out both ends. Look like a giant fucking Q-tip.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I need I need Micah as Black Dynamite now.
Oh dear lord.
Oh god. Okay, let's move on. Dragon Maid's Mike. No. Okay, let's move on.
No. Here'd be the scary one. Micah as the head of the Young Turks.
Oh Jesus.
Because as a joke, I'd call it the Young Jews. But anyway,
Council of Micah is at war with the Council of Hatman. Oh my god.
No, we would band together and have an alliance, and then create a universe-wide podcast with a bunch of different versions of ourselves, all echoing the same thing.
There would be like minor scuffles around the shame button. That's about it.
Pretty much.
All right, we got time for one more.
Yeah, let's take a politics question.
Let's do this one. Leonardo 1 asks, thoughts on Tommy Robinson being banned from Facebook and Instagram. And the only thing that's left is his YouTube channel, which I believe is also demonetized.
Yeah, it's disgusting. They're trying to erase him from public discourse.
Yep.
And I don't even understand what he has said that makes him deserving of it. Like, I understand, yes, he started Generation Identity. Mm-hmm. But he's walked away from that, and I'm pretty sure disavowed the group. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, it's whatever you say in the past, like regardless of whether or not you've disavowed it, is always going to come after you. They are not going to let that go. You know, it's almost like the old anonymous creed. You know, we do not forgive, we do not forget.
Yeah,
it's that in action. And I mean, you've also got Hope Not Hate interfering too, and Right Wing Watch and all that nonsense. And what was that story? Like, even PayPal is collaborating with the SPLC to find people to ban?
Yeah, this lawsuit that Gavin is doing cannot come quickly enough.
Seriously.
Because like I said, it is going to be monumental what happens and what comes up in the discovery phase.
Yeah.
So, we should have... I'm going to try to get in touch with him tonight. We should have Nick Rekieta on the show with us sometime to talk about that lawsuit.
Let's do it.
I am interested to... I've been watching Nick's show. I am the Kevin Bacon of the internet. Fuck Jeff Holiday. And I know Ethan, who knows him. I will try to get in touch with him. And yeah. So we're just pitching into the Micah-verse. Oh, God. That'd be hilarious. Chaos Sonic! What the fuck? We donated the money. $35.
What?
Yeah. Alright, what's this about? Before we take off. Before I change clothes. It says $35. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Animu.
Oh, no.
You should review After Demolition Man, given the chance. The Rising of the Shield Hero. Once it finishes. The plan is for 25 episodes. So you can read the manga if you want to during the wait. And I accidentally hit the button.
That was an overflow question. We were asked about that.
It was, wasn't it? Oh, shit, I hit the wrong button there. So, I'd be willing to have a look at it. That's for certain. Alright, folks. I appreciate you guys donating, for sure. So I will definitely put those on my list. Demolition Man and Rising of the Shield Hero. I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But we're going to go ahead and take off and get ready for entertainment. We're going to be talking about the Mortal Kombat 11 leaks. Sadly, I won't have the opportunity to talk about Negan in Tekken 7. I didn't play much of him. So, but we will be back to talk about other stuff. I'll be talking about Injustice. Hatman is going to be talking about Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Hooray! All of you should be entertained by that.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and take off. If you have questions, don't forget to put them into the chat for the overflow, so Brainbox can go ahead and pick them up. But until next time, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as The Hatman.
See you guys very soon. Deus Volt.
Deus Volt.